everyone, so I'm starting off by priming my eyelids using my favorite eyeshadow primer. This is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is just going to make sure that my eyeshadows stay on for a really long time without creasing or fading. And now I'm setting that using this Morphe eyeshadow in the shade Cream Puff. You can use a translucent powder. Sometimes I switch it up. I like to use a shadow or a powder. Totally up to you. Now I'm taking this eyeshadow from Geek. This is in the shade Frappe, and I'm just using a fluffy blending brush to really sloppily just put this all over the lid and up into the crease. You don't have to be precise with this at all, just sort of get the color on there, and then as you can see, I'm going in with a clean blending brush to just blend that out and soften up the lines and make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm doing the same thing to the other eye, and then once I'm done with that, I'm taking this Maybelline gel pencil liner. It is super creamy, very, very pigmented, and then right after I apply it, I'm going to blend it out. You can use whatever brush you're comfortable with, but you want to make sure that you blend it out before it dries and sets down, because once it dries, you're not going to be able to blend it out. And you can add more if you need to, like I'm doing right here. And the reason why I'm adding a black base is because it's going to make the brown shadow that I put on the lid very, very pigmented and just make it so much more vibrant and show up so much better. So now I'm taking my favorite brown eyeshadow ever. This is by Anastasia, and it is in the shade Fudge. And I'm just going to use, I believe this is a MAC 242 brush, and just pat this all over the lid. So I'm going to do one layer, and then I'm going to go back and build it up. I really want to make sure that it's very rich, very pigmented, and intense. You can see I go in with a bunch of different brushes. Right here I'm using a taper blending brush to just blend it out, give it a more smokier, little messier effect than the other one, and then I'll switch back and use the MAC 242 to pat the product on, go back to this brush to blend it out. Once you play around with your makeup brushes, you'll know exactly which ones to reach for different effects. So that's why I'm switching back and forth, because each brush is going to do a different technique for me. So you can see patting the product on, going back in with a fluffy brush, blending everything out. I believe right here I picked up a little bit more Frappe and added it on this fluffy brush just to give a softer transition. I'm taking a makeup remover wipe to just clean up the fallout underneath the eye and also to clean up the outer edge of the eyeshadow. And then once I'm done with that, I'm picking up that Morphe Cream Puff shadow again, and I'm going to use this as my brow bone highlight. And this is also sort of like my magic eraser, because any lines that are very sloppy, it's really just instantly going to clean it up for me. And then I'll go back with a clean blending brush and just blend right between where that shadow meets Frappe to make sure that it's nice and smooth. And you'll also see that I bring Cream Puff to the inner corner of the eye as well. That's really just going to help brighten up those inner corners. Going in with this beautiful gel liner from Inglot. This is in the shade number 94. It's a, I don't know how to describe it, maybe like a champagne colored liner. And I'm going to take an angled brush and softly map out where I'm going to draw my wing, and then I'll pick up more product and intensify the winged liner, and it's just going to give a really gorgeous foiled metallic look. It's so, so pretty. And once I'm done with the gel liner, I'm going to pick up this Pigment by Inglot as well. This is in the shade number 115, and I'm using this Kryolan Cake Eyeliner Sealer, and this is really just, I mixed them together, and it just helped me draw the line without the pigment falling all over the place. And you can see that the pigment is really just going to intensify that liner. You can see it adds so much more shine, and it just takes this liner to the next level. It's so pretty. Once I'm done applying the eyeliner, I'm going to pick up some of my favorite eyelashes. These are the Koko lashes in the style Goddess, and the reason I chose these is because they're not too dense and they have a really cool spiky effect, so that way you can still see the liner through the lashes. I didn't want anything that was going to cover up that liner because I really wanted that to be the star of the show. Now I'm taking that same eyeliner that I took before and just lining the waterline, and now I'm priming the skin using my Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer and just blending that in using my Morphe Beauty Sponge. For foundation today, I'm using the Milani Conceal Imperfect Foundation in the shade number 01 Creamy Vanilla. I think that's the name of it. and just blending that in using my beauty sponge. And I just absolutely love this foundation, you guys. I'm not sure how much I've talked about it, but I will be mentioning it very soon some more. It has definitely become one of my favorite drugstore foundations. This foundation has beautiful coverage, and I just love the natural sheen that it gives to the skin. Now I'm taking my Nude Stix concealer in the shade number 7, and I'm using this to do a cream bronze to the skin. I love to do creams before powders if I know I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures or if it's a special event, because it really just adds extra dimension to the skin that I feel like you can't get with only using powders. There's something about creams that just help the powders look so much more natural when you layer them. As long as they're blended out correctly, I feel like it gives such a beautiful finish to the skin. So I'm just taking the damp beauty sponge. I don't think I mentioned that the sponge is damp. It helps everything blend out really beautifully. And now I'm taking my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Light Warm and highlighting my face. You'll notice that my concealer is a little bit lighter than my foundation, and that's because not only do I want to conceal and add more coverage, but I want to add brightness to the center of the face, because it really just makes you look so much more youthful. It makes your face look so much more lifted. So that's why we want to add a lighter shade underneath the eyes. Now I'm taking my RCMA No Color Powder and using another dampened sponge. This is by Real Techniques, and setting all of the areas that I applied concealer. The reason that I set my concealer is to make sure that it doesn't budge or crease throughout the day. Now I'm taking this Laura Geller face powder. This is a baked foundation, and I'm just setting the outer areas of my face that haven't been set with a powder yet. This is just going to ensure that when I go in with my bronzer, my blush, and highlight, that my foundation doesn't move around and that it stays right in place. I'm using a smaller little tapered blending brush to just bronze up the sides of my nose. Then I'm taking my Lorac Pro Contour Palette, and I'm going to be picking up the lightest cool tone contour shade from the palette, and now I'm going to use a powder to add even more dimension to the face. So the reason why you add contour is to give the face more shape, but it also helps slim the face. So for me personally, I like to add a little bit of contour to the cheeks because I do have a very round face and very prominent cheeks, so I like to make my face look a little slimmer there. I contour right onto the temples because I feel like it just complements my face shape. And then I take a big fluffy brush with no product on it and I blend that out. Now I'm taking some more of that RCMA No Color Powder. I set it right underneath to clean up the contour line and then brushed it away right away. Using my Morphe 9N blush palette, I just mixed together some of the neutral shades to give a really pretty neutral color to the cheeks. And then of course, going back in with a blending brush and blending that out. I always blend with a duo fiber brush after every powder step that I do on my face because I feel like it just gives a flawless finish. Now for highlight, you guys, I'm taking this baked highlighter from e.l.f. It was like $3 or $4, and I have completely fallen in love with this highlighter. This has become one of my favorite highlighters ever. It's in the shade Moonlight Pearls. It's so gorgeous, and I just can't believe how affordable it is. So I've been loving that. Could not wait to use this on camera and share this with you guys. Now I'm taking some more of that Anastasia Fudge on a flat definer brush and just packing this onto the lower lash line, and then you'll see me go in with a fluffy brush and use the shade Frappe to blend everything out. Just using the two colors that I used on the lid to blend and smoke out the lower lash line. I decided to go back in with some eyeliner to extend the inner corner of the eye. I feel like I love to do this for like nighttime or dramatic looks. It just makes the eyes look elongated and sort of cat-like. And now I'm going in with some mascara. This is the Rimmel Lash Accelerator for my lower lashes. So for my lip color, I first picked up this shade by Smashbox. This is in the color Misconduct, and it ended up being a little too bright than what I had planned, but I still loved the undertone of this lipstick. So I wanted to go ahead and use it as my base because I still wanted like a cherry base, but I wanted more of like a chocolate cherry look. So all I could think of when I did this lip combo was chocolate kisses. That's all I was thinking. So I went ahead and I picked up my Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Chocolate Wasted. And I feel like these two together just made the perfect gorgeous combo. It was exactly what I had in mind, and I just loved this lip combination. So yeah, you guys, once I'm done with that, this is the finished look. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye!